Welcome back, everyone, to Pontas Fathom Hobbies. This is Season 17, Episode 7 of Tainted Grail. We're playing the Red Death expansion. We just wrapped up again in the waterworks at 4:32. I think we're going to go back down to the Blood Red Wind wetland. We're still playing on Chapter 5.2. I'm going to go down to here, the Blood Red Wetlands. So basically, if we decide to go to that, we can just... It says, travel to the southern lands, go to verse 12. It says, place the Blood Red Wetlands on the board, and we transport there. And then I'm going to place 441 next to it. We haven't gone to the space next to it, so maybe that's where we're supposed to go. There's a 441. 441, the Suspended Hamlet. Check this one out. We're going to go into the Suspended Hamlet. So we'll travel over to there. We're going to talk to the Picts here. Let's see what happens. So 441, Suspended Hamlet. We do have to turn a new card over. We get good weather, so free travel. Let's go check out 441, the Suspended Hamlet. Okay, the settlement occupies a small pine forest in the shadow of a mountain, its peaks hidden in clouds. From the oldest trees, structures resembling wasp nests hang, made from dark clay. They serve as homes to Picts. In this area where the forest ends, several wide pits are guarded by warriors with large shields and long spears. They seem to be protecting the village against something inside the holes. Higher on the mountain slope, there are several furnaces where the clay is baked and a large stone building painted with blood. Okay, so our thing is learn how to deal with miasma, discover what the locals know of the history of Canlin, or locate the ally we befriended in the port district. So we can approach the pits, we can walk around Camlin, walk on the settlement, or we can enter the stone building. Requires Chapter 5 and Picts Part 6 status. Okay, let's just go to, let's walk around the settlement. As you stroll under the hanging houses, you notice heads dangling by their hair from the walls. They are well preserved, but not shrunken like the ones you saw in Avalon. Many Picts look at you curiously as you seem interested in talking to you. Ask about the city in the higher mountains. Ask about Camlin, go to verse 2. The Picts didn't understand you well, and she starts speaking about the Red Empire. She remembers the end of the brutal war, when all the people in the city went mad because of miasma. Soon all of them became one mindless mass. Okay. How about we act about the Pict in the city? It requires Chapter 5 or 6, go to verse 3. Everyone is sure among the scouts that there's no one-eared woman. Some suggest that you might be looking for someone else, but when you ask what they mean by that, they don't answer. Okay. So there's a bunch of cages too. It says, ask about the Pict you met in the city, go to verse 3. Ask about the city higher in the mountains, go to verse 12. You learn about up in the high city, up in the mountains, was never tainted with miasma. The high caste lives there without mutilations that would protect them from miasma. You learn everyone gets there once every 3 lives. You're not sure if you understood the explanation correctly. There are some exceptions to this rule, but the rare ones, the last one was the current queen. She was exalted from the lower caste around 50 years ago for her great service in opening Camlin to Pictish raiding parties. So it seems like we are learning about Camlin, but now I'm thinking that the person we met is actually the goddess person. So, how about we enter the stone building? Do we have the Picts status? Let's enter the stone buildings. Let's see what happens. So, it says, a pair of guards grin at you in their lipless mouths. It doesn't seem like they were lost due to an incident, or rather due to a conscious act. They let you in without a word. A man with his hands covered in blood sits on a clay chair. You notice he doesn't have the external lungs. A young girl with a bandaged neck lies on the table next to him. She tries to open her lips in order to catch her breath, but she can't. Her nostrils are sealed. She has to get used to her new state and stop struggling, or she will die. Her last life was in the high caste, he adds. Decide to go through with the procedure. Decide to go through with the procedure. It seems horrible, but this is the only way to go. Okay, so let's go and check it out. I mean, that's... one. Huh? 1.7. The man prepares a place for you, a stone bed bearing marks of dried blood and soot. He prepares his tools, knives of various sizes, stitches and needles, jars with strange substances, and several fetishes devoted to the Pictish goddess. You want the full transformation, or one that the researchers from the lower caste have? With an open mouth, the partial one will not protect you from the miasma entirely. So we'll just go with the partial one. Smaller filtering gills on your neck will allow you to ignore miasma for a brief amount of time at a lower cost. 522. The procedure is long, painful, and it transcends magic and medicine. You remember hallucinating about a strange faceless figure hanging down from upside down the ceiling of vines. Each party sets their heart to 5 and their terror to 3. So their health goes to 5, our terror goes to 3. Health 5, terror 3. Terror 3. Gain the diplomat status. Gain the diplomat status. Yeah, whatever. And go to verse 553. Congratulations, you've completed chapter 5 of the Red Death campaign. Each character gains 3 experience. We lose 2 miasma. Okay, so now we're down to 1. Discard your events deck and active quest files. Active quest pile. So we can remove our active quest pile. So we've cleared out this active quest. Shuffle the random events back into the random events deck. And save your game or draw a chapter 6 setup card and follow its instructions with the next chapter. While among the picks, you may still pursue the optional goals. Exploration ends. Okay, so it looks like, let's have a sneak peek into chapter 6. Oh, this is chapter 6. Chapter 6, part 1 is called The Seat of the Pendragons. Okay, so we're going to go into chapter 6, part 1, The Seat of the Pendragons. Guys, thanks for watching. If you guys can go to our bookstore link down in the description, you can check out the Catu Journals out of Lovecraft's Providence. It helps to support our channel. You can also go check out other works there, like August Moldenhauer's Artificial Psychoanalysis of Desiring Machine, a deep dive into the coming distinction between the rise of artificial intelligence, but also the idea of becoming more attached to our devices, becoming almost like cyborgs and that. There's also a deep dive into, instead of artificial intelligence, the concept is artificial memory, with cinema and the internet acting as sort of like in that role. So there's a lot of interesting things in this one. Fans of the Dune Saga, Alchemy and Anthroposophy in the Dune Saga. This deep dives into the themes around Dune. And also our newest trilogy, Lovecraftian Dreamlands-based Alchemical Courtship in the Dreamlands, Volume 1, 2, and 3. Each book taking place in a different of the... in having some interactions in some of the key cities of the Dreamlands, like Celiphace or Dalathlene, or even Ruined Thrawn. You guys can also check out our Patreon. For as little as $1, you can stay across our Song of Ice and Fire gameplay. We've got tons of miniature paintings for Song of Ice and Fire. We've been doing new miniature and gameplay paintings for Cthulhu Death May Die. Seasons 3 and also the Unspeakable box, or the Unknowable box. And then there's also our Joan of Arc gameplay, Conan by Monolith, Battlestar Galactica, and other games. So go check it out. Thank you guys for watching. We will see you in the next season. Bye-bye.